you're buying a system when you buy a franchise. And again, I can't repeat this enough. 40 franchises in 3 years, dude. That's impressive. So you guys are doing something right.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not trying to pigeonhole them into doing it my way.
Sure.
I tell everybody, if you want to go as complex as you want to be with creating sales funnels, which leads to CRMs and circular sales funnels and remarketing and pixel remarketing across social media and Google, we can do all that. We can do it all very cost effectively. But if you want the best billboards and park benches and postcards, guess what? We can do that too. And I don't care how you run your office, but you're buying into our way of thinking with listing more houses, offering more value, being loud about that. You don't want to hide. A lot of real estate agents, unfortunately, they equate what they charge to how good they are. It could not be further from the truth. It's like offering a discount doesn't mean you're bad. It just means you charge less. And, I tell the people that tell me that, it's like, if you find $100 on the street, it's still worth $100, even though you found it and you didn't have to earn it. And so we've had them that they want to come in and go, well, I don't want to say I'm a discount realtor. But why would you join? That's the point of being here. Right. The entire point. Give the public what they really want.
Yeah. What's been your biggest surprise, though, would you say, since franchising 3 years ago? What's something you're like, man, I wasn't expecting this?
Just how far back you have to step to see things.
Expand on that.
All right. When I started out, all I wanted to do was be a real estate agent. And then I wanted to be a top producer. And then I wanted to do this crazy thing. And then, we did an interview with Follow Up Boss and we mentioned franchising, and then that sent us down this path. But at each step, it's only been, it gets 1,000 times more important at each step to take a big walk backwards so you can see what you're doing. You really have to understand how to break things down to a very basic, repeatable level. And what you learn is, especially in our industry, you'll have people who they're horrible at paperwork. They're horrible at keeping up with themselves, but they'll go produce a mountain of deals because that's them. And honestly, that was me. I create chaos all day long, and my team, led by my wife, orders that chaos. And so just understanding how simple we had to think and how unbreakable of a process you have to make in order to keep things running when you're filled up with people creating chaos, and then you add tons of volume to that chaos, which is the whole point of doing this, is to do a massive amount of volume. It requires a level of thinking that it's so different. To just be able to look at something, and I have my team around me sometimes saying, this is a simple process. Anybody can do this. I was like, well, it's not simple enough, because we have some people who are not. And if they're struggling with it, if they don't like it, then it's not right. I don't care how much y'all love it. I don't care how good it is. Mm-hmm. It has to change because it's not simple enough. It's not perfect enough.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the strive, is to find that. But that'll keep you up at night.
Well, we're only as good as our team right around us. Tell me about your team.
Oh my gosh. So I'm kind of the crazy guy with all the crazy ideas. And
every company needs one, by the way. As a fellow crazy entrepreneur, founder that wants to do everything now.
So, without me and my wife, there wouldn't be a 1% guest, but probably my crazy self, there wouldn't be a 1%. But without my wife turning that craziness into a scalable thing, we wouldn't be talking right now. I would probably be doing 60, 70 deals in my market, maybe 100, who knows? But it would have never gotten better. It would have never scaled. It would have never proceeded without Kelly finding a way to make something out of all that mess. And when we first started, like our first year or two was very hard because it was just me. And there was nothing to manage. There was nothing to scale and grow yet because it was just me making a mess all day long. And her frustrated looking at my mess. And me frustrated looking at my mess because I had no interest in cleaning up my mess. I just had an interest in making more mess. But slowly, like, more agents joined, and her role became more and more prominent. And now, I mean, she does way more than me for the company.
Oh, that's great.
She really does. She makes it all work. Dean Castioko with One Click SEO, he's been with us since before we even launched. He basically runs a digital marketing company specializing in real estate. Charles Rennick joined us. He's our CFA. He's a brilliant guy, and he and Kelly work a lot together. But, there's a lot of things. Our guy Ren, with making all the graphic content that we make. Either me or one of our agents or franchisees will get some crazy idea. Hey, we need this, and we need to put it everywhere. And his job is to figure out how to make it look right, how to make it work, and then how to replicate it across hundreds of agents. So where every agent has it for nothing. Just go download it and start using it. And here's how you use it. Like it takes a pretty amazing team to make all that gel and work.
It does.
A lot of times it's ground years, but once they stop grinding, they start going pretty fast.
Right. Well, look, for you, I mean, it starts at home. I mean, having Kelly involved, and her strength is your weakness, right? I mean, that's the beauty of it. And my wife, Nadine, same thing. She's supported me from day one, everything I wanted to do. And she was also the voice of reason. I'd come home and tell her I'm thinking this, that, the next thing. And it was great that she saw it from an outside perspective because she wasn't in the office. And at the same time, though, I had folks in my office that their strengths were definitely my weakness. And they were the ones that keeping me in check as well. But I think it's beautiful that Kelly's been part of this thing since day one, part of the vision, she felt the pain that you felt when you guys were selling your first home and going through it. But the fact that her skill set just happened to be exactly opposite of yours, it just makes it all the more beautiful. It makes the machine run, right?
Yeah, and it's amazing. Like, one of the weird things that I'll do is I have conversations all day long with tons of people, and I wind up just texting myself something. And what you talked about was something that I texted myself the other day, and we added it to a training video for our new franchisees of, hey, if you're thinking about bringing in a business partner or hiring your first hire your audit. Like, go sit down with a glass of wine and have a realistic appraisal of yourself. You realize you're great at this and you suck at this. And the person who's great at this and likes doing it, that's who you need. And, that's the yin to the yang, and that's Kelly. I mean,
absolutely. That's great.
Pretty awesome. I mean, I was what made the company go, and she's what makes it go everywhere it goes now. It's pretty fun to watch.
That's awesome.
I just hope she doesn't fire me every day.
Well, you have a distinct advantage. I mean, I always tell people, my feeling is that the number one decision that an entrepreneur can make to really grow their business is hire for their weakness. And in your case, you didn't have to hire for your weakness. You were married to her.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can see pictures of her in the background.
That's beautiful.
William and Emily, and there's Kelly back there. And it's crazy. I got my son, he wears 1% list shirts all over the place. It's fun. It's become a family thing, which is great. Like we have a crawfish boil every year with people. Hey, show up, bring your kids, have a good time. Like it's definitely a family operation, and it's weird because on the one hand, we get a very bad rap from some of the other agents and, we get hated and everything else. But on the other hand, people will say, look, the reason you hate them is because you don't know Grant. If you knew them, if you knew what they were doing, if you sat down with them, you might disagree with what they do, but you're not going to hate them. Pretty hard to hate them. You know what I mean? We're not bad folks. We're just, it's part of our training. I tell people, go do something very controversial without being so damn controversial. And I struggled with that for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Well, Grant, never forget that criticism is the tax you pay for being successful. Absolutely.
I agree, man. It's I could tell you a very funny story about that if you want.
Go ahead, please.
We started running, it's a little crude. We started running a national ads for opening franchises. And we had an agent about 3 hours away from us call us all prostitutes, right? For doing what we do. And so you have to understand, first of all, that's against Realtor Code of Ethics, but I don't care. Like, that doesn't bother me. And we've had it happen before when people start talking bad about us. And I'll get the private messages and the texts saying, oh, they're not allowed to say that. Like, you should report them. And I was like, I feel like I should buy them lunch. And I said, I appreciate all the free press. And so whenever that agent said that about us, I didn't turn her in. I took a screenshot of it. I put it up on all of our social media feeds. And I said, if doing a great job for our clients and saving them money makes us prostitutes, then I guess I'm just working the corner. And I'm okay with that because I'm here for you guys. I'm not here for their feelings. And if I hurt their feelings by doing a great job for my clients and saving them money, if that's how our agents operate, like if that makes us degenerates, then by God, we're degenerates. And that's okay. Out of that spawned the craziest, most viral conversations. You had the public fighting with the real estate agents. I had like a random, like 10:30 at night call from a local lender saying, the real estate agents, they don't hate you. They just don't understand how you can make money, which got my gears turning. I was up to like 3 a.m. So I created a focus group all night. And I was like, I'm going to go find all these agents who hate my guts and have all these objections, and I'm going to invite them all to focus groups. And at the end of the focus group, one of them was like, I want you. And then one of them was like, I want you on my podcast. And then a couple of other ones joined our brokerage. And it was like, I appreciate the negativity, as long as the negativity comes from our peers, not from the public, I'm happy.
Thank you for tuning into the Emerging Franchise Brands podcast. For additional insights, guest applications, and to stay connected, visit us at efbpodcast.com. The Emerging Franchise Brands podcast is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed do not necessarily represent those of Emerging Franchise Brands, its host Frank Fiume, or Emerging Franchise Group, LLC. Any discussed franchise or investment opportunity requires thorough investigation, obtaining proper disclosure documents, and expert consultation before making any investment decisions. The podcast and its host do not offer professional advice or endorsements, and they hold no responsibility for actions, representations, accuracy, or consequential damages related to the podcast content.